Hi, I'm Rajiv Nair, the Technology and Innovation Lead from Nathan Associates, and I'm here to present the MAccess tool for the SID Washington Con. The MAccess tool was the Ghana MATE program, which is a DFID-funded program which works in improving the agriculture ecosystem in northern Ghana. The value chain that we work in, so our agribusinesses, which include input suppliers, aggregators, and mechanization services, um, they work with field extension agents. These agents who interact with the 65,000 farmers, around 2,000 farmers per agribusiness. And they interact by providing inputs such as seeds and fertilizers. They provide services like tractors, drillers, etc. And in return, they get bags of rice, maize, and sometimes even cash. Most of these transactions are on credit, and recording is done on paper. Field extension agents also interact with farmer-based groups like FBOs and also lead farmers. And again, the interaction is very similar. Again, it's mostly paper-based. Once the agribusiness gets the harvest, they can then sell it either to the open market or to off-takers, which would include processors and wholesalers. In the ecosystem, what we found out was most of these agribusinesses faced three major issues which was relevant to data. The first one was the engagement with the farmers were paper based. Basically, these agribusiness agents would go onto the field, register the farmer on paper, come back, put it in an Excel. Then, when they have to do a forecast, they go back, again, write it on paper. When they do transaction, they transact while providing inputs and services, they put it on paper. And then every time they do that, they have to come back and put it into an Excel sheet. So that's a very time consuming process. Also, the issue is about disputes during harvest season. Basically, when these agents go down on the ground for collecting what was agreed upon, there are disputes with the farmer between what was their recollection of what the agreement was. The second major issue is on analytics. One of the major area that agribusiness are really concerned about is creditworthiness of farmers. And with kind of record keeping that they do, it becomes very difficult to analyze farmers' creditworthiness. There is uncertainty of supply, which leads them to not have those deals with off-takers. There is inefficiency in providing mechanization services. For example, for a rain-fed crop, all the tractors are required around the same time. So there is a lot of inefficiencies which are currently handled by phone. Then there is an inability of these agro-businesses to review performance of farmers, review performance of inputs, and also review performance of their own agents to make better management decisions for the future. The other issue that they face very strongly in this ecosystem is the access to finance bit, which is very tricky and costly. Agribusiness face high interest rate between 26 to 42%. The financial institutions ask for different types of collaterals, even a cash collateral, and the required data requirements very stringent. They require a network of farmers, they require financial statements, they require any contracts that you have, and to get all those documents together is often not met, and hence access to finance becomes tricky. So we were looking at what is the technology landscape in this ecosystem. So there are two major kinds of products that we saw. One of the set of products that cater to large retailers or processors who have their defined supply chain. It's a sustainable business model because this large retailer or processor will be able to pay. They can, and because the supply chain is contained, they can enforce end-to-end traceability, and it provides useful analytics. But on the trickier side, since the supply chain is contained, you don't go beyond the ecosystem. You don't cater to smallholder farmers, and if you want to go there, the tools are extremely expensive. On the other side, you have lead farmers and smallholder farmers related products. These are largely donor-based products, and the biggest issue with respect to this is difficulty of sustaining the business after the life of the project. These products are really good in terms of providing access to information, improving productivity, again making it climate resilient, and so on. But the major challenge that with respect to sustainability is the cost of acquisition of a new farmer or a new group generally outweighs the cost of willingness to pay by these groups of farmers. Then there is a middle segment where there are a few products, but none are strong in this ecosystem. And primarily because there's a huge upfront cost to develop and test the platform. There are high costs for acquiring, for a service provider to acquire new agro businesses to use the platform. And there's not such a high propensity to pay as you'll see with large retailers. So we are playing in this segment. The vision for the MAccess tool was a data management tool which is focused on agribusiness, but the aim is to build productivity in the entire agricultural value chain by improving efficiency and transparency. We went through a public procurement process where ImageAD was selected as a service provider. We'll come to the process later. Uh, the MAID donor program provides the initial upfront cost for development, testing, and training, and also it provides access to the agro businesses with cost of pilot. So these are the challenges that we try to reduce through the MAID program. ImageAD then develops the software and then hosts and maintains and supports the data tool for the agro businesses, and agro businesses in turn pays an annual subscription fee. The platform contains three interfaces. At the agribusiness end, there's a web interface. Agents have a smartphone interface, and the smallholder farmers and lead farmers have a traditional mobile interface. Since the farmers and lead farmers don't have smartphones, most of the transaction that will go through them as SMS, but still they will have a digital record which they can use for dispute resolution. Let's come to the other two interfaces in the next slide. So there's a smartphone interface. In the smartphone interface, you can register farmers, you can forecast what is required so the agribusiness can understand what is required. And when you're providing the services and inputs, you can key that in. A snapshot is shown towards the right. And during aggregation process, you can put all this information. The great thing about this tool is it can work offline, so you can collect all the information offline, and as soon as you reach area where there is internet connection, it automatically gets connected to the server. On the web interface at the agribusiness end, they can register if agents, they can see all the farmers, they can even register farmers through this interface, and they can have a record of all the transactions, but they can also have a lot of management related data about what was the services provided this month and what is outstanding and so on. So what makes this so special? The idea is not just to provide a solution that solves challenges. We also want it to be sustainable, and Nathan has an approach towards sustainable market-based digital solutions, which goes through the different steps of needs assessment, procurement, design, development, rollout, and maintenance. We have also adhered to the principles of digital development that both DFID, USAID, and all the other donor agencies are subscribed to, and we taken care that we look at through human-centered design, through looking at various other ecosystem challenges, etc., etc. We have ensured that we follow all these digital principles. What is the financial impact? Time saved. So it's a significant amount. So approximately 20 days of a person's time per agro business is saved. There is dispute resolution costs, which again is loss of approximately 50 bags per agro businesses per season. There are efficiencies due to better management report that cannot be quantified per se, but there are multiple efficiencies that you can see. And then you have availability of credit at a better repayment terms. This is something that we have confirmed with the banks, and the banks have said that if they get this information, they will be able to provide loans at a lower rate and lower collaterals to the agribusinesses. Northern Ghana currently is very traditional, does not have many off-takers and does not have many outgrower schemes. So the idea is once you have a very good rigid process set up, much more attractive for off-takers to pull up. On the social impact side, we are actually building an ecosystem. So once you bring the off-takers in, will lead to more growth in productivity and thus improving the GDP per capita and related outcomes. We are also looking from a farmer standpoint, as said that they will have an electronic record for every transaction, so they are empowered to resolve every dispute. And the farmers will also benefit from analytics that this agribusiness generate, because it's also in the agribusiness's interest that the farmers' yields are better. And with the finance to cultivate, we have seen that only 10% approximately of the cultivable land is cultivated currently, and that is largely because there is no access to finance or markets. MAccess has the potential to deliver on both counts. Where we are today, we are having a data management tool today is being rolled out. There's an access to finance piece which will be rolled out only to two or three as a pilot initially, and then we will develop an interface for the financial institutions going forward. But the very attractive part is what this can hold for the future. Once you have significant amount of data in, then there could be a farmer credit scoring process where farmers' data of loan repayment is provided better, and it's seen that with such a system, farmers are able to get more loans and cultivate more and so on. So it could be really useful to keep that record and get that process going. And then there is also the opportunity of precision farming, because one of the things that the tool can do is map the farms through GPS. So you can, with artificial intelligence coming in, there's a very high possibility that the salination of the soil, the various climate related issues of the soil, those kind of information can be analyzed using AI, and then precision farming advices can be given to the farmer via this network, and that's something that can really propel agricultural productivity in the future. This is the team. I'm from Nathan. Kwame is the CEO from MAJD. We are the two principal leads for the project, but there's a huge team working on building the software. If there is any questions related to our presentation, we are very happy to answer. You can contact us in these emails below. Thank you so much for your time.